My name is Lukas Gruntz. I'm architect, and together with Selin Dietziko, I'm the founder of Atelier Atlas Architecture in Basel. It is my pleasure to give you an insight into our extension on Wasserstraße, which we completed this year as our first project. The house is part of a row of originally 8 houses of the same type, built at the end of the 19th century. They are simple housing for the working class. The construction is fortunately very solid. The unheated attic was used only for storage, so obviously there was a potential. The neighborhood has changed a lot within the last 100 years. Behind the house, there is now a large heating center, so the scale has shifted completely. Furthermore, apartments are very needed in Basel. Densification is a big issue. The original floor plan on the left side was provided for 2 small apartments. The toilet was located outside the apartment in the staircase. It's a very efficient, simple plan. But it was combined into one apartment in the last decades. The owner, a family of 4 children, wanted to create new space and a larger apartment with more light on the roof. We were concerned with how the architecture of old and new could find an appropriate dialogue. Our early sketches of the beginning of our plannings show this confrontation. Before and after, the comparison of the 2 sections show the extension in the vertical. After the existing roof truss was removed, 3 new floors were built on top. The existing apartments remained intact and habitable, which forced a very fast and efficient construction process. A view of the construction site. The fine cornice of the existing roof edge was reconstructed to maintain the construction to the existing building. Timber construction as sustainable building method was the right choice for the structure, also because it's much lighter than brick or concrete. Earthquakes are a big issue in Basel. The city is located at a risk zone. In order to secure the existing structure, all loads from the addition had to be transferred to the firewalls. This could only be done with steel beams and columns that were integrated into the wooden structure. I'll be happy to give you a brief tour of the roof extension, starting here on the first new floor, where you can access the 4 bedrooms via a central hall in the middle. The existing chamber floor plan is still noticeable, but slightly shifted. Large windows bring a lot of light into the center of the apartment. The original roof staircase has been preserved and marks the transition from old to new. The prominent X serves to brace the wooden structure. The higher the floor, the more the structure dissolves. On the second floor of the attic is the large living room. The staircase, a bathroom, and the column divide the open space. The kitchen is located in the center. The beam end in the ceiling stands out in the wooden paneling. A round window on the firewall provides a view over the roofs of the neighboring buildings to the Rhine. The surfaces are characterized by the pine wood. The floor is a poured anhydrite with the integrated floor heating. The attic space is free of columns, walls, or any other structural element. It is unheated and has no specific use. It can be specifically appropriated by the residents depending on the situation, season, or space requirements they have at that moment. The roof space functions as a low-cost bonus room, a climate buffer as well. As thermal insulation in summer is an issue in timber construction, the attic can absorb heat and, thanks to the good ventilation, cool down again quickly. As an architect, you have an ideal idea of how a building should be. You think about many things down to the last detail, but it is often forgotten that reality cannot be planned and foreseen. At Wasserstraße, it was very important for us to create a robust but simple space that can really be appropriated by the residents. Although it may not be the ideal state, it is important for our work to see and understand how our architecture functions in everyday life. Our roof extension is inhabited by a family of 6. Accordingly, it's quite lively. It was a great desire of the client to install a crane in the roof space. The house does not have an elevator, so with the crane, heavy materials or furniture can be brought to all floors via the balconies. Although it may not meet the highest aesthetic standards, I think the crane is really great. The addition of the top floor is a manifesto for an architecture of openness. Today, many things are overdetermined and overregulated. This makes unconventional living ideas nearly impossible. The roof space is an important place for the family as a playroom, cinema, or barbecue space. Densification in existing buildings always bring with it the social question. What happens to the existing residents? They often have to leave the house, even if it's not demolished. At Wasserstrasse, no one was given notice. The increase in hate was carried out by a building was still occupied. Lights on. I believe that good architecture is unspectacular. It is much more important to find a precise architectural response for the specific place that takes both social and environmental questions seriously. Architecture is first and foremost social engagement. That's what I believe.